finished now coaching, but I'm hoping that, I can advise and help kids in other ways. But um, I think that one thing that has to be started really young is accountability, because if there's no accountability, there's no learning. And not the two main things on accountability, of course, is their language and their behavior. But on ice is staying on too long and not passing the puck. And so the only rules we have, and we're upfront with the parents, is that if they stay on longer than 40 seconds, they're going to have to sit a shift because they're stealing somebody else's ice time. And uh, and so uh, and also they're training their bodies that way to be a high performance skater, because their energy systems have to be trained to play hard when they're out there. And anyone that's on more than 40 seconds, their performance goes down and they look slow. And it's so if you come at it without, so if a coach comes in and you're on too long, you thought you were fast, but now you're looking slow. Then but the bottom line is they sit out. And now after you've had them for a year, they sit out on their own. They know they're on too long and they know why. And they don't, it makes their teammates mad at them too, because somebody's losing the shift. And the other thing is not moving the puck. If you don't move the puck, if they don't move the puck, then you're going to sit. And I benched I benched Rick Five when he was a peewee, and he invited me to his wedding, so he didn't hold it against me. And I think they understand. I think they understand that if and I tell them the reason I'm doing this, guys, is it's for your future. It's not it's but for your future, because you want to be a high level player. You got to get out there and go full speed for 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and a great model for that is Sidney Crosby. The worst model is McDavid, and and he's stealing somebody else's ice time, and it's hard to have team spirit when that happens. But Crosby got 30 seconds, and the average shift length in the Olympics was 22 seconds, and his line was 28 seconds. And so those things are really important in development, and two of the most important. And you got to start them young, and you tell parents up front this is what's going to happen, and they're not surprised. And if they don't like it, then they can find another program. That's the way I put it. Because if you want to play with it, these are our rules, and it's for the good of the kids. And if you don't believe that, then it's better you join another program.
I wonder if you can do that in community hockey or double A hockey, because uh, somebody is going to question that and challenge that theory. The coach may not be supported on that. Al, what you're saying, it's the demise of hockey, minor hockey today. I watch um, AAA midget hockey a lot with a friend whose son's playing, and the first thing I noticed is a behavioral coaching is not dealt with. A kid stays out too long, he's not even talked to.
Exactly.
Disrupts the shifts. The other kids get upset, and I know because this father who I coach is telling me about it. The other rule that I took it from you. You said move the puck. I call it headman, because headman, the guy's obviously open ahead of you. And I think that's sort of a see the ice, he's there, obviously pass it. And this is happening. And then bad penalties, reaction penalties. After scoring a big goal to go ahead, the player who scored went by the other team's bench and mimicked them. And the coach didn't address it. They ended up losing the game because of that lack of respect and behavior. It's all about a lack of emotional control to do the things the right way. So it's the issue. It's ruining the game. Coaches are shortening the bench, double shifting the best players, letting them get away with things that are cardinal, things that need to be dealt with in a consistent fashion.
Well, minor hockey should be always coached with the future of the child in mind. And the problem you're dealing with is winning is put first. and that's hard in the game. And I've had many experience with that. That the parents or some other coach said, "Well, you penalized him. He didn't want to. He was scared to come off the ice. He was scared to stay on the ice to back check." Well, fact is, most of the time they get no strength left. They've depleted their energy out there, and so I penalize that. If they're in their own end and they don't come off in time, then they sit because they have to learn those skills if they're going to move on. And I have no problem with talking to parents about that. But I'm gonna. Well, what's the best to penalize a child for doing something wrong that will be detrimental in his future? Because everybody now are saying, "Get on and off quick, get on and off quick, get on and off quick," and any good coaches are saying that. And but you can say it till the cows come home. But if there's no consequence, then there's no there's no change, and there has to be a consequence, and in life there has to be a consequence, and these things should carry over to life. If you do something to break the rules, then somebody's going to suffer for it, and so if you're teaching to develop the child in mind and look at his future not only on the ice but off the ice, and for his dream and his dream after the dream, they have to have all those skills in their mind, and so that's I guess that's the way I've been, and that's the way our program is, and hopefully that's made a difference. But nothing's perfect.
Rick, go ahead, Rick.
I just want to support what Al's saying there. I like the accountability piece where you explain this up front and you give them the option in or out. If you can live with this kind of structure, you're in, and if you can't, you better find another program. Wally, well, that's the way I've run mine. And just getting that upfront agreement, getting everything on the table is a key to having a successful or more successful season than you might well have had otherwise, with a lot of controversy and a lot of conflict.
I want to thank you guys. You may not think your work's important, but what you're doing, you're making a difference. And don't stop doing what you're doing. And I'll help you back on regular soon. But thanks so much for having me, Wally. And it's so nice to meet you new guys there. And good luck with everything you do. And God bless.
Take care, Al.
Hey, well,
Well, guys, I'm sure glad we got Al on. You can see that he epitomizes the good of the game. And he's there for the right reason. He does things the right way. And he hasn't been doing it yesterday. He's doing it. This is his 45th year. As an educator, he learned in teaching elementary school. He didn't talk about this, but he just learned everything about respecting young people. And I'm going to share a story with you, and it is related indirectly. I went to the Canucks Junior A banquet and sat at one of three tables, which was all former players, and one of the